Hi, this is Dan Wickwire here. In this session, we're looking at question number 49 in my book, 200 Questions About the Bible and the Quran. The question is this: is it forbidden to prostrate oneself before anyone other than God himself? The answer in the Bible is yes, and the answer in the Quran is yes also. And these answers will become very significant as we look at the next question, number 50. But for now, let's look at Exodus chapter 20 in the Tevrat. God is speaking. He says, "I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me." And notice here where he says, you shall not bow down to them. That is, bowing down is an act of prostration. It's an act of worship. And God commands believers not to bow down to other gods, not to bow down to a person, not to bow down to an idol. You don't do that. It's forbidden in the Old Testament. Exodus 34:14, you shall worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. He doesn't want you bowing down to anything other than God himself. Deuteronomy 5:7-9, you shall not make for yourselves a carved image. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. So now the Injil is saying the same sort of thing. Matthew 4:10, it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve. Acts 10:25-26, as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter lifted him up, saying, stand up, I myself also am a man. Peter, when Cornelius came down and knelt at his feet, bowed down in a prostration as a form of worship, Peter said, stand up, get up. What you're doing is wrong. I'm a man. You only worship God. So he got him up off of his knees and stood him up and said, don't do that. Revelation 22:8-9, last book of the Bible. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. Then he said to me, see that you do not do that, for I am your fellow servant and of your brethren, the prophets, and of those who keep the words of this book. Worship God. Notice, this angel's communicating God's revelation to John, who's writing it down in the book of Revelation. And John is so overwhelmed by the things that the angel was showing him that he ends up falling down on his feet, on his knees, prostrating himself in front of the angels. And the angel says, stop it. See that you do not do that. For I am your fellow servant and of the brethren, the prophets, and of those who keep the words of this book. Keeping the words of the book means do not bow down. Do not prostrate in front of anybody else other than God himself. It's forbidden, okay? It's forbidden in the Bible. And now we're going to see that it's forbidden also in the Quran. Isra 17:23. Your Lord, we're talking about Allah, has decreed that you worship none but him. In other words, the Quran commands you only worship Allah, no other God. Anbiya 21:98. Surely you, speaking to the idolaters, surely you and what you worship besides Allah are the fuel of hell. You will surely come there. In other words, if somebody is an idolater, that means worshiping somebody other else than God himself. What are they going to go? Where are they going to go? They're going to go to hell. You'll be the fuel of hell. Surely you will come to hell. You'll surely come there. And then Sebe 34:40 and 41. He will say to the angels Did these worship you? They will say, glory be to you. Nay, but they worship the jinn. The jinn are the demons. The angels there, the word there is melek. There's a difference between a jinn and an angel, between a demon and an angel. Angels are called melek in the Quran, and the jinn are called the demons. Look at this in Zariyat 51:56. The I there is Allah, I created jinn, that's the demons, and humankind only that they might worship me. In other words, it's the purpose of Allah, purpose of God, that people, whoever it is, they should only worship God himself. So the question is this: is it forbidden to prostrate oneself before anyone else other than God himself? Yes, in the Bible, and yes, in the Quran. The importance of this will be very important as we come to the next question, in question number 50.